why the Enforcement Directorate wants Arvind Kejriwal's remand. The order, which was reserved by the Rouse Avenue Court, we'll hear any time now. Number one, the arrest is required to be interrogated with respect to his role and the aforesaid statements to unearth the remaining proceeds of crime. And for this purpose, it is imperative to have custodial interrogation, as the arrestee was non-cooperative in investigation and was defying the summons under Section 50 of the PMLA. The second point, digital devices seized during the search have to be extracted and the data has to be confronted with the arrestee. Third, that the arrestee, here Arvind Kejriwal, is required to be confronted with voluminous material records seized, which is only possible in the custodial interrogation. Fourth, that the arrestee, Arvind Kejriwal, needs to be interrogated with respect to other associates, entities involved in kickbacks given by South Group to the Aam Aadmi Party and its leaders. Number five, that the arrestee needs to be interrogated to identify the complete modus operandi of the offence. Now, these are the 5 points that have been put forth by the Enforcement Directorate on why they want the remand for Arvind Kejriwal. Shreya Chatterjee and Poulomi Saha, both of them joining me from Rouse Avenue Court. Shreya, will you take us through the 5 points that the ED has given asking for the remand of Arvind Kejriwal?
Well, Preeti, what the Enforcement Directorate is suggesting is that Arvind Kejriwal not just needs to be questioned with the evidence because he's the Chief Minister, National Convener, but because he's the main figure and he was the one who was in the power of deciding election funds and how it will be regulated. Remember, the main charge that's come in from this excise policy is that there were kickbacks that were received from the South Cartel to the tune of 100 crores in return of undue favors that were given during the formulation of the excise policy. They also suggest that chats between the vendors who were a part of the Goa election established that through Hawala transfers money was given. This further was corroborated by the Enforcement Directorate as per a statement of one of the candidates of Goa elections who suggested that one of the vendors were also responsible for the PR activity of the GNCD, was also actually playing a key role in the Goa elections, and they had received cash from this company. This is the entire stage on which the Enforcement Directorate is suggesting that the kickbacks were somewhere down the line routed to the Goa elections. Now they are saying that not just statements, we have corroboratory evidence in the form of WhatsApp chats, in the form of the back calculations of the money trail that links to one Vijay Nair, who's also an accused and suggestively the middleman of this entire scam. That is the reason why they need to interrogate Arvind Kejriwal with the documents that they have received and also with the recent arrest they have made in the case, which is in all likelihood K. Kavita in this particular matter.
All right, so it's been 5 hours, viewers, since the hearing began in the Rouse Avenue Court. 3 hours of hearing and 2 hours of wait. Poulomi Saha, when can we expect the order which was reserved?
Well, any time now is what we've been told as far as, the developments inside the court is concerned. And Nalini Sharma, our colleague, our legal correspondent, is inside the courtroom. It was at about 5 p.m. when, in fact, the court reserved the order. But as you know, the court needs to note down all the various, arguments that were put forth by at least 2 counsels that represented the Enforcement Directorate and, of course, the 3 counsels who represented Arvind Kejriwal as well, including, of course, citations and statements that were referred to during the course of it before, of course, the judge types out her order as far as this remand application is concerned. So we're being told that any time now there is a possibility that, that pronouncement of the order will be made by the judge. Of course, the courtroom is right now standing by for the judge to preside.
Poulomi, coming right back to you, let's cut across to Piyush Mishra. Piyush Mishra, what's the atmosphere around the court? Any protest by Aam Aadmi Party? What are you witnessing, or is it all calm right now?
Well, Preeti, it's relatively calm. Today in the morning, we saw a few protests breaking out. The protesters had come out. They wanted to go to the Aam Aadmi Party office, which is which is barely 100 and 200 meters away from the Rouse Avenue Court, but they were stopped by the Delhi police. Let us also try to show you visuals. You can see as to how the entire area has been completely fortified. Barricades have been put up. Only media persons can be seen here. There are multiple layers of barricading. Those are still at place in this entire area. In few minutes from now, we can expect order to be out, and then Arvind Kejriwal will be taken out from the same gate from where right now we are reporting. Since morning, we have seen few developments taking place. Protesters wanted to protest, but they were detained by the Delhi police and taken to nearby police stations. Any minute from now, we can expect the order to be out. But the biggest allegation during the hearing today, which has been leveled by Enforcement Directorate, is that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin in this entire alleged scam. In fact, he is the one who, along with Manish Sisodia and K. Kavita, conspired to tweak the 2021-22 liquor policy, and which led to massive benefits to South Cartel Group, and subsequently kickbacks were received to Aam Aadmi Party. So a trail has been established by Enforcement Directorate. Now, Abhishek Manu Singh has also defended, saying that you cannot misuse your powers.
All right, Piyush there detailing on the reasons why the ED wants remand of Arvind Kejriwal, because they say that they can establish a money trail. Right now, they are using this to ask for the remand. They'll need to prove this in a court of law. Polumi, you have a point to add. Go ahead.
No, there was a bit of a false alarm in court. Nalini was reporting. It's going to be sometime, she says, before, of course, the order is pronounced. It's still being typed out. The judge briefly came into the courtroom in order to check if anything needs to be added as well. She has left again from the courtroom. For that moment, there was a bit of anticipation that probably she's going to preside and pronounce the order. But yes, what Nalini is informing us, it's going to be some more time, Preeti, before we hear from the judge.